What's up, guys? This is Burt Music, and welcome back to Beavis and Butthead Op 6. What is this game? Yeah, we need to talk about the skin situation in Call of Duty because unironically, it's pretty crazy. And it's been getting too crazy. It's been getting so insane and wacky over the years. I mean, even if we just look at the store right now, the range, the amount of bundles, and the variety is just absolutely bonkers. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. Like, there's not really a lot of cohesion. There's not really a theme here. It's just the absolute most insane things that Treyarch could possibly come up with, ranging anywhere from this lava lamp skin to a shark. I mean, even recently, I was streaming on Twitch, and I do this whole thing where if someone gives 10 subs, I'll go ahead and get whatever skin they want me to get, and I got this one. What is the deal with this tiny head-ass shark skin for Sev? Like, bro, what did they do to her? The regular outfit itself is kind of fine. It's like a punk rock biker kind of outfit, but then why the tiny shark head? And the more that I've been thinking about it and processing it, I think I figured out exactly why they do it. It's the same reason why I'm wearing the Glop and Boopin outfit right now, but trying to have a serious conversation. Because here's the thing, I'm not here to just sit and complain and whine about the skins in Call of Duty. It's pretty obvious that they're not going anywhere, but I do want to try to talk about it some more and hopefully try to offer up some better solutions for what they could do going forward with Call of Duty. As you're sitting there eating your delicious cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell, you're probably wondering, how do I take this video seriously? I mean, look at this guy. He's got some kind of ridiculous skin on. And that's a very good point. Can you guys take this video seriously if I'm dressed up like this? I'm talking normally, I'm recording and making this video exactly how I typically would, but the difference now is that I've put on some kind of wacky skin and you guys are probably expecting something to be goofy or stupid. And I feel like this is exactly what people are trying to say when they say that Call of Duty can't be taken seriously anymore. When you have ridiculous skins like this in the game, people just can't take it seriously versus how they used to back in the golden era of Call of Duty where we didn't have all these crazy skins. I mean, realistically, all of this stuff really started back in Advanced Warfare. Which, speaking of Advanced Warfare, let me go ahead and change skins real quick. When Gunzo was added to Advanced Warfare, it really was the catalyst for all of these skins getting too weird and too crazy in Call of Duty. Now, granted, those games took place in the future, and the overall atmosphere of the game, the vibe and the identity was tied to the game also kind of being a little bit more over the top and ridiculous. But with games like Black Ops 6, which is supposed to take place in the 90s, it does make you question which skins actually make sense in the game and which ones don't. Also, you guys have to let me know in the comments, can you guys take this video seriously if I'm wearing stuff like this the entire time? I'm not goofing around, I'm not doing any kind of goofy voice. I am trying to deliver a serious message here. So yeah, I should probably go ahead and change to my default skin. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully you guys will be able to take this video a little bit more seriously now that I'm in my regular skin. I'd be willing to bet money that you guys can probably take this video more seriously now since I'm not wearing a mask, I'm not dressed up in some kind of goofy manner, and now we can have a serious conversation about the skin situation in Call of Duty. Because make no mistake, these bundles, these different kinds of skins in the game, they're not going anywhere. And it kind of ties into the same reason why we get Call of Duty games every single year and they don't take a pause, they don't take a break on releasing COD games. It's because the games themselves pretty much generate over $1 billion in revenue every single year. And when it comes to the microtransactions, guess what? The microtransactions on their own generates multiple billions of dollars on top of the game sales every single year. So yeah, skins, they're probably not going anywhere. But we can have a conversation about how to actually make the skins, I don't know, not as insane. So what I want to do with this video is have a more serious conversation and talk about 6 major issues with the skins and the bundles in Call of Duty and also provide some solutions to those problems. Because look, I know that it's annoying to hear people constantly complain about these things. And honestly, it is pretty counterproductive to just sit here and whine and complain and not offer any solutions, which is why I wanted to make a more structured video talking about the issues and also how we can, fix those problems and make the skins and make these Call of Duty games better. So with that being said, let's talk about the first major issue with skins and bundles in Call of Duty, which is the identity of the games themselves. One of the biggest issues with having all of these different variety of skins is that it completely compromises the identity of the game. Before Black Ops 6 even came out, Treyarch themselves in the marketing for Black Ops 6 was talking about the identity of Black Ops 6 and how it takes place in the 90s and how that was going to factor into the overall style and aesthetic of the game. And that was cool. That was fine and dandy. But here we are now in 2025 and we're almost at Season 4 Reloaded for the game, and we have skins like this. A very vibrant and cel-shaded skin in the game. And again, it's optional, you don't have to buy it, but people will buy this skin and they're gonna run around with it, and it completely breaks the immersion. It doesn't really look anything like that core identity of Black Ops 6, which was talked about before the game even released. But you know which skin and bundle probably doesn't get talked about that much and doesn't really get that much coverage? This one right here, Dress to Grill for Adler. If we take a look at this bundle in the game, the blueprint for the SX Model 07 is not anything too crazy. We've definitely had more insane looking weapon blueprints in the game, but if we look at this skin for Adler, this actually looks like something that could belong in the 90s. Obviously, it's not a Milsim skin, and it doesn't really tie into Black Ops necessarily, but it is a fun skin, and it still ties in to the 90s, and I could see this belonging in Black Ops 6 in one way or another. We've also got this blueprint for the Ladra called Grill Streak, which is a pretty clever name, and it's also got a kebab as the stock of the gun, and this one's also not that insane. You can also get a T-bone steak reticle. Honestly, this bundle, I feel like overall is pretty decent, and all things considered, it's not that insanely priced compared to other things that exist in Black Ops 6. But again, I'd be willing to bet that the reason why we don't get more bundles like this is because this kind of stuff right here is probably not selling as well. They themselves have even admitted that some of the wackier skins and the license collabs that they've done, those sell like hotcakes, and it's probably what's making them a majority of that, you know, billions of dollars of microtransactions revenue every single year, which is probably the main driving factor in getting crazier, weirder skins like this and not having stuff that ties into the core identity of Black Ops 6, is because it's probably just not making them as much money. Wait a sec, did this motherfucker just wink at me? He did! Okay, now I'm kind of creeped out. But seriously, if we had to try to summarize this problem, I would say that the core identity of these newer Call of Duty games basically has to get compromised with weirder skins in order to make more money. That's the problem. So what's the solution? The solution that I have in mind is actually kind of just a bigger issue with Call of Duty as a whole, and I've talked about this before, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with this, but I think really the main reason why this is such a big problem in the first place is because the core Call of Duty games themselves are also connected and tied to Warzone. I really do think that the solution here would be to separate the main Call of Duty games from Warzone. They need to just be separate experiences, because honestly, I really wouldn't have a problem with having some of these goofier and weirder skins if they were exclusive to Warzone on its own. And then when it comes to the main Call of Duty games, you could have more skins like this, more realistic looking skins that also just kind of fit in with the core identity of those COD games. Now, obviously, the solution is way easier said than done. They've been building up the Call of Duty HQ app, and they've been trying to connect these experiences for so many years. Okay, for some reason, I just got a server disconnected as I'm just trying to talk, but they've been trying to connect these experiences for so many years now because they want to make your skins feel like they're worthwhile and that it's worth your money. I mean, just think about it. If you had to buy a skin and it was only usable in Warzone, it wouldn't necessarily feel like you're getting as much value compared to a game like Fortnite, where when you buy skins, you can basically use them anywhere. And I really do feel like it's that competition with Fortnite which drives a lot of these decisions when it comes to microtransactions in Call of Duty. Now, in this situation, a lot of people would be quick to blame Fortnite for the reason why Call of Duty has turned out the way that it is, for like their decisions with putting wacky and crazy skins in the game and also having them released pretty consistently. But if we take a look at Fortnite, it actually kind of makes sense for that game because it's a free-to-play game. You don't have to actually pay money to get into the game and play it. However, the game is supported with the use of skins. And the reason why Fortnite has so many crazy skins in the first place is because the game also caters to and appeals to a younger audience. And the game's art style itself, the identity of Fortnite, you might say, allows the game to go in basically any direction that they want it to, which is why the game has so many different collaborations and so many different crazy skins. And the more that I think about it, I feel like the misstep that Call of Duty has made is they basically tried to mimic or copy what Fortnite has been doing for so many years now, without considering the fact that Call of Duty's core identity is basically nothing like Fortnite's. And even though putting crazy, wacky skins like this in the game and compromising the core identity of Black Ops 6 might make them some good money, I do strongly feel that in the long term, they should try to dial this back, and they should even consider separating the experiences entirely and basically having the new main Call of Duty games in the series have a core identity and just try to build on that very subtly and gradually with the skins in the game and have those be separate from Warzone. And when it comes to Warzone, basically copy Fortnite. Have it be a separate identity, a separate experience where you can go crazy. You can put anything you want in the game, but at the end of the day, those skins will have nothing to do with the main COD games. It will just be an entirely separate experience. And I know it's not going to be an easy task. Like all of these teams now, between Raven, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward, as well as a lot of the other smaller supporting studios, they all work in tandem to try to create these games and create these experiences, and trying to break that apart is not going to be that easy. But if they want us to shut up and stop complaining about the ridiculousness that's been happening to Call of Duty over so many years now, they're going to have to come up with a more creative solution, and I feel like this is a pretty good one. But yeah, at the end of the day, Warzone just needs to be its own separate experience with a different identity, so that way they can release whatever kind of crazy skins they want to, and then leave the main Call of Duty games as is, and let them have a core identity. That definitely took a while to talk about, but I feel like it is one of the most important things. But the next thing I want to talk about is the frequency of skins and bundles that have been coming out in Black Ops 6, because I feel like compared to other Call of Duty games, we have never seen this many bundles getting released. And I think if you were to try to purchase every single bundle in Black Ops 6, at least at this moment, it would probably cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 to buy every single bundle that's been released since launch. It could possibly be even more money than that. And that's not even factoring in all the different battle passes, the black cell, and even the new premium event passes that we've been seeing as part of the events in the game too. I honestly don't know how anyone is keeping up with all of these different skins and bundles. Like, it feels like almost every single day that I load up and play Call of Duty, I see something new in the store. And it's just out of control, it's out of hand, and I really do feel like the solution to this would be to try to dial back the frequency of the bundles they're releasing in the game, because honestly, they're straight up just running out of ideas, bro. I mean, I feel like we've had at least like 2, 3, or 4 different shark bundles in Black Ops 6 alone. Like, what is the deal? What is the obsession with shark skins, with shark bundles in this game? Like, I just don't get it. They must be selling well, because for the love of God, man, why do we need a weapon charm of a shark taking a bath? Like, I just don't get it. Again, it has nothing to do with the core identity of the game, but I genuinely feel like the frequency at which they've been releasing bundles in Black Ops 6 has just been ridiculous, and it's leading to a stagnation of creativity for the bundles themselves. And I really do feel like the solution would be to try to pump this back and simply just try to take some extra time to come up with some more unique bundles, because here's the thing. If there's thousands of dollars worth of bundles in this game, no one can afford it in the first place. No one's going to buy every single thing that's in the store. And simply just looking at the Black Ops 6 store right now, I feel like there's so much fluff. There's so many different bundles that could simply just not exist. They don't need to exist. Like, what is this? Doom and Boom? Why would anyone pay $10 for these skins? What's this one? Tranquility Lost? I don't even know if I've ever seen this one before. I genuinely don't think I've ever seen this in my life. Like, why is there a pigeon on a Tanto? The Ushered Peace? There is no peace right now with this many skins in the game. And what is this spray? We have like a skull inside of an explosion with birds coming out. This was probably AI generated, which will transition us beautifully to the next problem. The usage of AI in the store bundles for Black Ops 6 in particular has also been kind of insane. Like, if we look at this bundle, this is 1,200 COD points. It costs more than $10 to get this bundle. And realistically, this spray, this emblem right here, and this loading screen were most likely just created using AI. Now, obviously, in this instance, these specific items would have to be fact-checked, but they have been caught using AI many times before. I mean, it was around the holidays, they had that, like, holiday zombie skeleton loading screen with, like, 6 fingers that was clearly made using AI. It's embarrassing. And if you're one of those people that's sitting here watching this video and you're saying,
well, who cares? I don't care if AI is making stuff in the store bundles.
Consider this. Would you buy this for $12? Is this worth $12 to you? I'd be willing to bet that almost everyone watching this video would not actually buy this bundle. I don't even know if I've seen anyone in Black Ops 6 or Warzone running around with these weapon blueprints, and that's the whole point. This bundle costs 1,200 COD points, and you're most likely only going to consider buying this bundle for the 2 weapon blueprints, not because it has a spray or an emblem or a loading screen. And I do agree, regardless of whether it's AI generated or not, this bundle is being padded out with useless items that just don't matter, and realistically, you're only going to buy any bundle in this game because of 1 or 2 specific items. But even then, I do still want to focus on the usage of AI in creating the store bundles in the first place, because if you look at this emblem itself is just sloppy. It doesn't look very good, and I don't see any reason why anyone would spend their hard-earned money on an emblem like this. And ultimately, the solution for the usage of AI when it comes to these store bundles is to just use it as a tool to create things, not just straight up generate crappy, sloppy emblems like this and then sell it to people. Because let's keep it real, the whole reason why AI is being used to make anything in the store for this game is so that way they can increase the frequency of the amount of skins and store bundles being sold so they can make more money. Let's be honest, that's the reason why they're doing this in the first place. And ultimately, it's just leading to an overabundance of skins and bundles that people just don't really care about and want to spend money on. And I don't even know if it's necessarily making them more money, but what I do know is that it's lowering the quality of the stuff that they're creating, and they need to tone it back. And that's going to transition us beautifully into the next problem with Call of Duty skins and bundles, which is that they are just getting really expensive, and it's really unfortunate that we have bundles like this, which costs $30, 3,000 COD points, and there is no option, no way to be able to buy individual items at a lower price. Because I mean, dude, look at this crazy ass skin for the AK-74. What if I wanted to just buy this? I have no option to. I would have to spend $30 and buy everything in this bundle, which, by the way, half of this bundle is padded out with most likely AI-generated calling cards, loading screens, emblem sprays, all that kind of garbage. It does have a finishing move, it's got a gun screen, and it also has this skin for stone. But what if I don't really like this operator skin? What if I don't want to spend $30 for all of this other stuff? What if I want to buy this skin for the DM10 for like $2 or $5? There's no way to do it. But ironically, the blueprint of this gun is named Sluice Gates. and their competition, Splitgate 2, is actually doing this. They are actually allowing people to either buy the bundle for the full price and get every single item that's in there, or you can also specifically choose to purchase individual items. This is something that Call of Duty should absolutely consider doing, because if I genuinely wanted to buy just this weapon blueprint, there is no way to do it without spending $30 for the whole thing. And ultimately, at this point, because there's so many bundles in the game, I'm just not gonna buy it. And there you go. You just lost a potential $30 for the whole bundle, or even like $5 or $10 for one specific item out of that bundle. And I'm pretty sure that Splitgate 2 is not the only video game that is doing this and being more fair to the consumers. And I feel like Call of Duty should really get on top of this, because it just doesn't make any sense. If I simply wanted to purchase this cool ass paintball skin for the C9, it should only cost me like $2 to $5 instead of forcing me to potentially spend $20 and buy the entire bundle. But I guess they don't like money. But what happens if Call of Duty doesn't see this video? What happens if people don't complain enough, or they don't talk about these issues enough, and then we end up having the exact same system 5 to 10 years from now? What do we do? What can we possibly do if the game just continues to keep releasing wacky skins and it's all connected and there's nothing we can do? Aside from quitting playing the Call of Duty franchise forever, there is actually a solution, and this one has been brought up a number of times, and I've seen it mentioned a lot from Exclusive Ace, which is adding a setting in the game that allows you to basically have a skin filter that can be turned on or off. And if the skin filter is on, it would filter out all of the different store bundles and all the crazy wacky skins in the game, and you would not have to actually see them. And if you leave it off, well, there you go. You can enjoy and look at all the ridiculous shark skins in the game, right? And in a sense, we kind of already have this in Call of Duty. Right now, if you go to your account and network settings on Call of Duty, there is a setting for dismemberment and gore effects in the game, and it says display dismembered characters when shot by heavy bullets and gory effects when shooting at dead bodies. But what this setting doesn't mention in the description is that it also essentially turns off tracer pack round effects. So if you're getting bothered by someone shooting and killing you with a certain tracer pack in the game, if you have this setting off, you just straight up won't have to see that. And it does kind of prove the point that if they wanted to have a skin filter in the game, they most likely could do it. But again, I gotta keep it real with you guys. We do have to look at it from the business side of things as well, and we do have to try to see it from Activision and Call of Duty's perspective. I really feel like there's no chance in hell of there ever being a skin filter in Call of Duty, because they don't want to hide the fact that people have bought certain skins. I've even said before in the past that it feels like some of these skins in the game are intentionally put in here to try to bait us. Ironically enough, this bundle is called Tracer Pack Goodbye, mate, because I genuinely feel like there are certain skins and different things put into the game that are intentionally designed to try to frustrate and annoy players in the hopes that they will potentially buy something from the store that they can also use to then piss off and bother other people. So if we keep that in mind, I feel like there's genuinely no reality where they will allow us to just straight up have a filter to turn skins on and off. They could do it from a technical standpoint. It probably is viable, but they also don't want people to not have to look at skins and then be enticed to make a purchase. And that's exactly why I wanted to sit down and just have a more serious video talking about the Call of Duty skin situation and providing actual alternatives and solutions to these problems. Because even if they don't simply just consider adding a skin filter, which probably would, from a technical standpoint, be the easiest thing to implement in the game, and also probably take off that burden and take off some of those frustrations from the player base, even though that might be the easiest thing, that's not going to make them more money. And I genuinely feel like if they took all of these different things into account and considered all these different things, you know, separating the main Call of Duty games from Warzone, stop using AI to generate an insane amount of bundles, and actually just care about the quality and the identity of the things that you would put into those different experiences, and also make them more consumer friendly by allowing us to purchase individual items instead of having to buy these massive expensive bundles, I feel like that's the best outcome for everyone, and it's more likely to happen than just simply saying, well, I don't want to have to look at skins. It simply just makes no business sense for them to put something like that in the game without having something else in place that can also just, you know, make them even more billions of dollars. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna do it for my little yap sesh about the skin situation in Call of Duty. With the Beavis and Butthead skins coming to Black Ops 6 and Warzone, I really felt like I needed to sit down and just gather my thoughts and try to come up with some different solutions to these problems. But definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Call of Duty skin situation, and if there's any other kinds of solutions that you guys could come up with. And with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you agree with anything that I said in this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys later.
Outcome. Train going.